Bonsoir. Now we're going deeper. You just finished articulating vocabulaire 5 with Emily. Avec Emily. With Emily. Or you can say ac Emily. Ou fini vocabulaire 5 avec Emily. You finished vocabulary 5 with Emily. Répétez. Ou fini vocabulaire 5 avec Emily. Okay, Kunya, now we're going deeper. All right? So right now, I want to go into the vocabulary words in lesson 5 that require a little bit more information, okay? Because remember, Creole and English are not compatible. So just to say something like the word encore means again is not sufficient. And it's like that for several words in each vocabulary list. And that's why we have this going deeper video after each vocabulary. And after each vocabulary list, I'm always going to have a going deeper video because I want you to be able to go deeper in your conversations, okay? So the first word is encore, which we just talked about. Encore means again, and because it means again, it also means anymore. Because in English, if I were to say, don't do that again, I would also be able to say, don't do that anymore. And a parent would say anymore after offering a child something to eat, anymore, we would just use the word encore. Whereas in English, if a child wanted more food, they would say more. And a Haitian child would say encore, encore. Encore means again, which means the repeating of an action, repeating of something, which is why a child would say that, okay? So if I wanted to say, don't do that again, don't do that anymore, and remember, you're going to répéter right after me, pas fait ça encore. Pas fait ça encore. Now, if you want to say like, give me more of anything, you would just say, ban moi encore. Ban moi encore. 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 So what if you just wanted to say, give me more? Just give me more. You can say the word for more, which is please. Ban moi, please. Ban moi, please. Now, you notice that for to give, I use ban. I use the nasal form of to give because I was using a nasal pronoun. Moi. Ban moi. Répétez. Ban moi. Okay. The next word is actually having to do with ac, avec. In most Latin-based languages, Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, French, we would say noun with noun. In English, you would say noun and noun, mother and child, toothbrush and toothpaste. In Creole, we follow the Latin-based rule, noun with noun, mother with child. So anytime in English you want to say mother and child, in Creole you would translate that to mother with child. Maman ak petite. Maman ak petite. Well, what about the verbs, the actions? And what about the adjectives, the descriptors? What do we do there? Well, it's quite simple. We use and, which you know is the letter E, pronounced A. So if I want to say adjective and adjective, beautiful and happy, I would say belle et content. Belle et content. What about action and action? Well, I would just say verb and verb. Sit down and eat. Chita et manger. Chita et manger. So remember, in Creole, it is verb and verb, adjective and adjective, noun with noun, noun avec noun, adjective et adjective, verb et verb. And that will help you to remember. So if I want to say husband and wife, in Creole, these are nouns, person, place, thing, and person, place, thing. So I would say mari ak madame. Mari ak madame. Okay. So whenever you see squares and rectangles in the workbook you own, the Learn Haitian Creole with Gloria, remember, go ahead and get a second copy if you have a friend in Haiti that you're working with to help you go deeper every week along with the program. This actually helps you even more. Basically, what you want to do is you want to make sure that they're looking at the rectangles and the squares, and they're not just telling, well, this is why we say bon gens. This is why we say, mauvais gens. You want them to see, oh, this is how she teaches it. Because in our culture, we do not learn Creole. Yes, in America and England, you have English courses. In Haiti, we do not have Creole courses because we know how to speak Creole. By the time we are 2 to 3, we are fluent. And because of that, we don't know how to tell someone something like, this is a adjective noun phrase. This is a tense modifier. These are all terms that I made up so that I could be able to teach an English-speaking person. And so I had to learn all of these rules to our language to be able to teach it to you successfully. So you empower, you equip your friend by showing them the workbook and allowing them to have one to look at when you're not around. I have so many people who order more books and they say, oh my gosh, my interpreter, my translator, and my friend just won't give me my book back. And it's because they're learning how to explain it better. So it is a good thing. For example, bon gens, mauvais gens. To a Haitian, bon gens means good ways. Mauvais gens means bad ways. So basically in English, you could say she is ill-mannered. In Creole, you cannot say that, even though mauvais gens means, to an English speaker, ill-mannered. To a Haitian speaker, it means bad words. Creole, English, not compatible. So the sentence structure has to be totally different. The same way in English, you would not say, she is bad ways. You would say she has bad ways. And the English way of saying that is, she has bad manners, bad mannerisms. So in Creole, we would never say she is mauvais gens, he is bon gens. We would say they have it. So she has good ways. Li gen bon gens. Li gen bon gens. He has bad manners. He is ill-mannered. Li gen mauvais gens. Li gen mauvais gens. The highest compliment that you can give to a Haitian is that their child is well-mannered, because in our culture, this means that the parent has done a good job. When we feel that a child is ill-mannered, we call them mal élevé. M-A-L-E-V-E. Mal élevé means badly raised, not rude. In American culture, it means rude in Haitian culture, which means to be rude, they weren't raised well. So if a child makes one error or has an attitude one day, if we meet someone and they are rude, we don't say they are mal levé. We don't know if they were badly raised. They may just have a bad day. But when a parent hears someone say their child is mal levé, li mal levé. Li mal levé. It is an insult to the parent, and the child is severely punished for being seen as mal levé by someone who has known them for a while, by a church member, a teacher. It's a horrible thing. So when you tell a parent that petit ou gain bon gens, petit ou gain bon gens, obviously, you know this means your child has good ways. Your child is well-mannered. It is a huge compliment to that Haitian parent. And you always want to find a way to compliment a Haitian parent. Okay? So the other two words that I want to compare, one is in the workbook, one is not. You know I love to give you bonus words. Demoiselle and jeune gens. Demoiselle does not just mean dragonfly. Dragonflies are beautiful, represent something feminine to us. And so demoiselle also means young lady. Typically, this is like a lady who is, between marrying age, between being like a American teenager and marrying age. But I would be dishonest to give you a simple description as that, because our culture's not the same. So how would I know I can call a young lady demoiselle, or a young man jeune gens? Jenjan, which means he has young gens, young ways. Jeune gens. Jennjan. Jeune gens means the same thing to a young man that demoiselle means to a young girl. Now, our culture is very literal, and so it's it's not figurative. Okay, if we want to be figurative, we use our own proverbs and our own metaphors. However, when you want to know whether to call someone jeune gens or demoiselle, you don't want to look at the word teenager within your culture. We don't have that term. We look literally at the person. If we see a young lady who is forming, we would say she's now a demoiselle. We can see that. If we hear a young man's voice changing, he's getting taller, his body is showing his age, we will call him a jeune gens. These are compliments. Young lady, young man. But let's say there is a child who is 16. You're filling out a clinical application. You see they're 16. Oh, belle demoiselle, pretty young lady. I would not say that unless physically she looks like a demoiselle. It could embarrass her, because I hate giving examples like this, but in Haiti, we have children who are 13 who might look like they're 7 or 8 because we have a lot of malnutrition. So you want to be very careful with that, because a child like that could get teased. Other children can make fun of them. It's sort of like when there is a child whose hair has been shaved because of having ringworms or any sort of issues in the scalp, and attention is being brought to that, where I know so many people who've said, oh, what's your name, young boy? And it's a girl, and her hair is shaved because of an issue with her scalp. And so you want to be careful with that, with the jeune gens and the demoiselle, making sure you're addressing someone who you can tell, this is a young lady, this is a young man, all right? Otherwise, you just ask them their name and call them by their name, okay? So the word forme means to come into puberty, okay? The body has formed. F accented O-M-E. Forme. F accented O-M-E. Répétez, former. Former. When you can tell that a young lady has formé, you call her demoiselle. When you can tell that a young man has formé, you call him jeune gens. Okay? The young lady is tired. Demoiselle la fatiguée. Demoiselle la fatiguée. The young man is ill, is sick. Jeune gens malade. You can hear the. Jeune gens, jeune gens malade. Bien fait. Okay, in English, when you want to say first, second, third, fourth, fifth, in Creole you would say premier, deuxième, troisième, quatrième, cinquième, or the last, you would say dernier. The reason I'm bringing this up is sometimes in English you would say the first one, the second one. We don't use the word one. We just, for the first one, we would say première. Première. The first is all we need to say. The first one. So if I want to say the first one is big, première gros. Première gros. The last one is little, dernier gros. Ah non, dernier petit. Dernier petit. So, dernier means last one or just last. But dernier does not mean to last. In English, I can say the last one. How long will that last? I saw her last night. These are three different concepts, and I told you we have one word per concept in Creole. We do not have the same word for different concepts. That makes it very confusing. So if you want to say the last, as in the last one, it is dernier. But if you want to say how long does that last, you have to use the word to endure. D-I-R-E. Durer. D-I-R-E means to endure. That lasted a long time. Ça durait longtemps. Ça durait longtemps. What if you want to say, I saw her last night? Then you would just say, I saw her yesterday night. Mwen weli yes soir. Mwen weli yes soir. Bien fait. You see two words for tired. We have fatigué and we have bouquet. Fatigué means tired, just like in English. But bouquet means to be like worn out. Obviously, you can say it with your 80%. Muy fatigué. Muy fatigué. I'm tired. But you could just say muy bouquet. Muy bouquet. That lets us know automatically you are worn out. Now, fou. Fou means crazy. In English culture, someone could say, like, oh, that's just crazy. In Creole, you do have to give it the 80% because fou, crazy, is one concept. So we have just one word. So if I want to say she's silly, as in so silly that she seems crazy, my 80% has to let you know I'm not saying she's mentally ill. In order for you to know that, my 80% has to show it. Her husband is mentally ill. Marili fou. Ma really fou. Her husband is silly. Ma really fou. Ma really fou. We can also say tête partie, a head that has departed. He has a head that has departed. Li gen tête partie. Li gen tête partie. That means he's lost it. If you've lost it because you're frustrated and you're just lost it, the same way you'd say, I lost it, you would say, tête moi partie. Tête moi partie. Head belonging to me is gone, departed. My head has departed. Okay? We have words in Creole that in English don't have the same meaning culturally. For example, in English, if you tell a woman, you got big, not a compliment. In Haitian culture, it is. Gros is a compliment. Meg, skinny, is not a compliment because it means to thin, to become meager. It's like saying you are not doing well financially, so you can't buy enough food to eat. And so your body is getting meager. It's showing this. It's thinning out. Whereas gras is not a compliment unless it's for a baby or an animal. If you say someone's donkey is gras, it's fattened. It's healthy. A baby is gras, fattened. It's chubby. It's healthy. Gros means sturdy and strong. Meg means weak in physical stature, meager in physical stature. So you can say the baby's really chubby, really fat. Bébé a bien gras. Bébé a bien gras. Or you could say Mary gained weight. Mary became big. Marie vin gros. Marie vin gros. If you want to say that John's wife lost weight, John's wife got slim, skinny, small. Madame Jean vin maigre. Madame Jean vin maigre. And I know that's very different from English culture, but in Haitian culture, that's how we see it. We see big as healthy, strong, and doing well financially. Kek. Kek means some in modern English depicting several quantifiable objects. I can say that I have kek books. 1, 2, 3. Several books. I can count them out. I can say that I have kek earrings. Several earrings. A few earrings. So think of the word kek as few. Several. Only use it if it's interchangeable with few and several. In English, you can say, I have some dogs. I have a few dogs. I have several dogs. So you can say kek. But you may say, I have some water. You would never say, I have several water. I have a few water. I have some rice. You would never say, I have several rice, a few rice. Therefore, you would not use kek for those things. When we get to leçon 15, when we get to leçon 15, we will tap into those different forms of some. For now, just know that kek means some when you are talking about quantifiable objects. So it's interchangeable with few, several. I have some apples. I have several apples. I have a few apples. Mwen gen kek pomme. Mwen gen kek pomme. So the word content is self-explanatory. So content, you can tell, means content, happy. When I say I am content, I am pleased. We would not say I am s'il vous plaît. That means that's a manner thing, good manners. Please help me, s'il vous plaît. T'en prie, s'il vous plaît, aidez-moi. Please help me. Répétez, s'il vous plaît, aidez-moi. T'en prie, aidez-moi. Or reverse it. It can go at the end of a sentence, only at the beginning and the end. Aidez-moi, s'il vous plaît. But content, when meaning pleased, moins content. I'm happy. Moins content. I'm pleased. Moins content. I am content. But if I want to say I'm excited, I can use the word excité, but we have to be very careful with that because it also means to be aroused. So if you want to tell people at a church, I'm happy to see you, I always say, just say, I'm happy to see you. Moins content, ouais ou, which is in your greeters vocabulary in leçon, premier leçon, your first lesson. But you can also say, I have a happy heart. That means I'm excited in that proper way that you mean to say it. Mwen gen ke content. Mwen gen ke content. I want to touch on the words led and sought because these are negative words. I teach you everything so that you can understand it. If someone says, oh, li led, you won't be stuck thinking, oh my gosh, they're saying this kid, he's ugly. Led is not just an outward thing for us, it's an inward thing. We would say someone is led because their heart isn't right. They're not kind. For example, if someone does something bad, I would say, that's ugly. Ça led. Ça led. But sought is not used humorously like in English. That was just stupid. We don't do that. If someone says that someone is sought, is a huge insult. In our culture, intelligence is highly, highly praised. So to say someone is sought is like saying this is a fool. Or for a child to say it is like saying that person is a dummy. It's very deep for us. So when someone says the boy is stupid, ti garçon sot. Ti garçon sot. It is not a light thing. So you want to be very careful with those words. The same word as mauvais, which is put before a noun, a person, a place, or a thing. Mauvais moun. Bad, horrible person. Mauvais moun. These words are not thrown around lightly, which is why if you've been to Haiti, you haven't heard sot, led, and mauvais frequently, okay? The word mais has many meanings. As you know, it's the conjunction but. I want to go, but I'm tired. Mwen vle ale, mais mwen fatigué. Mwen vle ale, mais mwen fatigué. It also means hand. Mwen gen de main. I have two hands. Mwen gen de main. Mwen gen de main. In English, if you want to shake hands with someone, you would say, let's shake hands. In Creole, we would say, give me hands. Ba mwen la main. Ban mwen la main. This is an expression. So don't look at la main and go, why is the after hand? It's just an expression. But it also means, here it is, main. When you are presenting something, you use main. You use your hand. So if I want to say, here's the book, mais livre là. Here is the book, mais livre là. Where is Paula? Mais Paula. Here's Paula. It's like, here's Johnny, mais Johnny. It does not mean here or there. The word for here is là. The word for there is là. But if you are presenting something, here's the necklace. Mes chaînes. Mes chaînes. So it is very different in that sense. I also know that you notice we have two words for bag. We have sachet and valise. Sachet is a plastic bag, a paper bag, a trash bag. Thus, it is a disposable bag. Valise is not a disposable bag. It's a pocketbook. It's a luggage bag, which you also learned is mallette. So, if you are talking about something that is disposable, that's a bag, like a Ziploc bag, you would say sachet. If you are talking about a leather bag or a tote bag, any sort of bag that is not disposable, you would say valise. She has a beautiful bag. Li gen yon belle valise. Li gen yon belle valise. But if you want to say throw away the bag, jete, J-E-T, J-E-T-E, jete, J-E-T-E is throw away. Throw away. Throw away the bag. Jete sa chair. Jete sa chair. And our last word, before I give you two bonus words, is vieux. But I was going to say are because if you put vieux with the word adult, grand moun, G-R-A-N-M-O-U-N, grand moun, old, adult, old person, grand person. Vieux grand moun, G-R-A-N-M-O-U-N, means elderly. We would never refer to them as vieux grand moun to their face. You could say my grandma is a vieille grand moun, and we will understand that means she is a very, very much older person. Okay? We look at the word vieille as worn out and old. And so when we say vieille grand moun, it's not an insult, but we just don't call them that to their faces. It's not like saying he is an elder. No, it's like saying he's very, very, very old. He's a really old adult. So you can use it descriptively when not in the person's presence. It's not an insult when they're not present. They know they're vieux grand moun. Okay? So we don't say, li vieux, he's old. That means worn out. We would say that for clothes. For example, the word vieille, it can also mean disgusting. Like if you say vieux moun, disgusting person. Vieux moun. Vieux bagay, disgusting stuff. Vieux bagay. You gave me that disgusting thing. Ou ba mwen vieux bagay sa? Ou ba mwen vieux bagay sa? 80%. I have two bonus words for you since we are doing descriptors mostly today. One is vicieux, greedy. The girl is greedy. Fille vicieux. Fille vicieux. The other word is chiche. This means English term that I can find for that would be cheap. Sheesh, cheap. The man is cheap. Monsieur Ashish. Monsieur Ashish. Bien fait. I want you to go ahead, like the video, and then go to the next video, which is your practice sentences. This is where I give you practice sentences for every single vocabulaire word in leçon 5. Nawe pita.